Good evening, Times Square Church. My name is Israel Rodriguez. At 12 years old, I moved into the projects, and life as I knew it changed, and so did I. Wound up hanging out with bad company. I got involved in smoking weed, alcohol, and I desired a reputation for myself in the streets. And at 14, I wound up hanging out with the older cats, and as I said, I began seeking a name for myself. But all that was cut short because at 15, I wound up doing juvenile time. I wound up doing about a year. And in there, that's when I began to seek God. I began to seek His face. I began to read and pray. But upon coming back home, I didn't have any brothers or sisters in the Lord. I didn't have a home church. And I wound up hanging out with the same people. And I reverted back to my old ways. 7 years I was lost and spiraling, backward deeper into my sins. But at 19 years old, I was coming back from the gym one day, and I called my fisherman because he threw the net and he caught me. And we was at Dunkin' Donuts and we was talking about the things of God. And the one thing that caught my attention was that he was young. He was 23 years old. As far as I knew it, church was just old people on their way out trying to get right with God. Yeah. But this guy, he was 23 and he was on fire for God. He was very passionate. And I began going to his church, and he discipled me for 4 months. But I became afraid because, I started to count the cost, and I was afraid I was going to backslide, be a hypocrite. And one day I visited another church. It was a married couple, and one of my friends, and they invited me to the church. And they said, Israel, how come you haven't, gave your life to the Lord yet? It's not about feelings or emotion. It's a choice, and you have enough truth in you. And I agreed to that. And at the end of the service, I went to the altar, and I was totally honest with God. And I went to the altar, and I said, God, I don't love you. I love marijuana more than I love you. I said, God, I don't want to serve you. I said, I fear you. And I know Jesus is the only way to go to heaven because my concern was about hell. But there's 4 things that I knew. That you are God, you're my creator. That you sent your son to die for my sins, and that you are coming back. And that though I don't understand, I know that you're good. And that life without you is vain. And from that very moment, life as I knew it changed, and so did I. But there was a problem though. As I said, I got involved with marijuana, and it was a stronghold in my life. And now I'm a Christian, I'm saved. And I had a lot of condemnation. For 3 months and a half as a Christian, I was getting high. I would read the Bible high. I would sometimes pray high. I even came through these doors high. But God in His mercy, I came here, I was being ministered to by the Spirit while I was here. And I would just cry day and night. I said, God, I hear of your delivering power, with heroin and other drugs. And here I'm still bound by this. Where's my deliverance? Where's my victory? And 2 months, still getting high, I got on my knees in my living room. I had a joint in my hand. And I said, God, if you love me, deliver me. I don't know what I was looking for. Maybe a burning bush, a bolt of lightning, a note of a voice. But let me tell you something, deliverance did not come for me that night. And another month and a half, I continued to walk in condemnation and guilt. And I really hated my sin, but I had no power within me. When God began to speak to me one day, and He said, Israel, if you don't carry a cross and deny yourself, you cannot be my disciple. Now, God wasn't talking to me about, works and trying to do things in my own strength. What he was speaking to me was, Israel, you need to commit yourself to me. Just surrender. You don't have the strength. And it was then that day by day, it was a struggle. He didn't pick me up by the hair and took me away from the smoke shop. I literally had to make a choice, and He gave me the grace to die. He gave me the grace to say no. He gave me the grace to walk away. And this past March 4th, I made 7 years in the Lord clean. And I just thank God for that victory in my life. As I said, it was a stronghold. And I know that God is more than able. He is mighty to save. Yes. And lo and behold, 4 months after that, I went to Mount Zion School of Ministry. I graduated. I stood an extra 2 years as staff. I got involved in prison ministry and working with the youth. Came back home about 2 years ago, and now I'm an electrician. That's my day job. But my heart is always to God. I want to serve you. I want my life to count. I want it to mean something. In society, I was tearing the city up. I was tearing society down. But now you've called me to be repair of the breach. Now I'm building the city of God by Him. Yeah. And, and now the Lord has opened ministry for me right now in the Bronx. I teach a Bible study. And here I just got involved in high school ministry, and I worked the gate, a security guard. Adults, if you see me up front, no offense. But I want us to stand and pray. If you join me. I think about Exodus chapter 14, and they sang a song, and they said, I will sing to the Lord, for he has triumphed victoriously. The horse and the rider he has cast into the sea. My strength and my song, my God, and I will exalt him. I will praise him. And I want to pray with this mentality that we're not going to sing a song after we get out to the other side, but we're going to sing and pray through it.